Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us here on Game On Sports Network. On behalf of Game On, I would first like to apologize. We had a few audio issues to start off the first quarter of this game, but we got it all sorted out. We're here now. Thank you for still sticking around and joining us here. Now we can bring you the audio and video side of this game. My name is Isaac Estrada. I have the opportunity to once again be your play-by-play and color commentator for this game, as Highland Park holds a 7-3 lead as we resume play with under 8 minutes remaining here in the second quarter of play. That one flies in the air, and Kate Peters quickly takes advantage of it. Darts that one downfield to Anna Butler, who takes a bit of a bump. Nice job of recovering right there. She quickly scoops it back up. But she did lose her goggles, so she's going to go get those back. Have a stop in the play real quick. And we're back. That one is passed to number 2, Harper Gray. Over the middle, back to Kate Peters. And we've seen Kate Peters kind of be the facilitator for this offense, for this team in general. She's going to take a shot right there. She put it through. I believe she does. Nice job right there by Kate Peters. Just bragging about her. She has really been the facilitator of this offense so far in all of these games this season, and we see her do it again. I believe that is her second make of the game. Highland Park holds a very commanding 8-3 lead in this game. And is backed by Kate Peters and Raleigh Henry. Raleigh Henry already has 3 shots made to her name in this game thus far. Kate Peters now has her second of the day. And Highland Park holds a very nice 8-3 lead now here in the second quarter of play. So we are back meeting in the middle. That ball flies into the air. Let's see who's going to get cover of it, and it will be Highland Park. Nice job right there by Kate Peters getting possession. As that one is passed off deep downfield to Raleigh Henry. Passed over the center to Gray. Gray, a little high on that shot right there. Rolls out. Hayden Gray looking for the shot attempt right there. Couldn't get it done. And now Parish is going to take over. Parish, down by 5. You still got plenty of time left. You still have over half a quarter here before we hit a half. Plus 2 other quarters to play. Still plenty of time. Let's see what they can do here as that one is quickly scooped up by number 20, Raleigh Henry. Henry now marching the other way. Far side. Playing where she loves to play, and that's behind that goal as she passes that one to the other side. To Gray. Gray marching around over the center, trying to find a shot. Can't do it. Decides to step back behind the goal again. Spins around. Ooh, gets clogged a little bit. And no whistle is blown, and the goalie will have possession now for Paris. Nice job right there. Getting possession back, keeping this away from their own goal, not trying to allow any more points on the board. You're already down by 5. And Parish now coming the other way. Gray wants that one back in full. She's playing some tough defense right there on number 35, Emily Browning. She still has the ball. She is tightly guarded, and we know Highland Park loves to play tight coverage. Whether it's on their side of the field, on the enemy side, they love to play tightly, put a lot of pressure in the face of those offensive players. See them do it again right there. Whistle blown again. So here we go. Number 35, Emily Browning, still has possession. We are back underway here as she passes that one over the middle. About halfway through this second quarter of play now. Thank you again for joining us here on Game On Sports. Marching the other way, passes that one deep downfield. That one's still rolling. Looks like Parish should still have possession of it. They do. Now playing from behind their own goal. Coming the other way near our side. Swings around over the middle. Still spinning. They are tightly guarded by a plethora of Highland Park Highland Park defenders. That's number 15, Peyton Ronnie, who already has a goal to her name in this one. Passes that one over the middle, number 12, Megan Jackson. Jackson now tightly guarded by Gray. Oh, and that one loosens up a little bit. The ball is free, and they will call that Highland Park ball. So big play right there by Highland Park. That one to credit to number 2, Harper Gray. And they pass that one deep downfield. It's going to roll out. They will call that Parish ball now. Once again, you see Highland Park putting on that tight defense. 2-on-1 coverage right there. Margot McKinney, Gray, both tightly defending number 8. Lila Lively, and she marches over the middle, able to slip past a few defenders, but is getting met by a few more. That one's still rolling free. They will still call that Parish ball. So Lively now, still on the offensive end, but tightly guarded. Marching over the center, that one gets swatted away again, and this time Highland Park will have possession. Coming the other way now, pass over the middle to number 20, Raleigh Henry. Horty has 3 goals to her name, has been such a huge part of this offense this afternoon. Marching around behind that goal. Pass over the top to number 7, Hayden Gray. Gray over the middle, and that's Margot McKinney on a nice shot right there. Make this a 9-3 game now for Highland Park. And we know Highland Park, very star-studded. They got a lot of star power on that offensive side. And on the defensive side, they just play a huge numbers game. And I know I wasn't here for the first quarter or so, but I was still watching, still paying attention. That's what they've been able to do to maintain this dominant lead thus far. 9-3 game in Highland Park's favor now. So we have about 4 minutes, 16 seconds remaining in your second quarter of play here. Thank you again for joining us on Game On Sports. Once again, apologize for the missed difficulties here on the audio side, but we're glad to bring it back to you. That's number 15, Peyton Ronnie, meeting in the center with number 4, Kate Peters. That one flies into the air. Kate Peters does a nice job of scooping that one up. So Highland Park will start off with possession right there. That one is a little high, intended for Anna Butler. It is swapped up right there by Raleigh Henry, but they will call that Parish ball. So Parish has possession, and you already see it. Highland Park with that double team as that one is passed over the middle. A little too much heat on that one. Now Gray coming the other way, has a wide open shot, takes it. Nice block right there by the goalie for Parish, still dribbling around. Whistle is blown. That's a nice save shot right there by the goalie for Parish. And I believe number 7, Hayden Gray, is going to have free positioning on the far side from behind the goal. Ideally, you'd love to see her pass this one over the middle. See how Parish is playing. She might just pass it. Yep, she did. Just passes it behind the goal back to Raleigh Henry. Now Raleigh Henry spins around looking for her 4th make of the game. Decides to pass that behind the goal again to Gray. Whistle is blown again. Your clock is still rolling here. About 3 minutes, 5 seconds remaining in your second quarter of play. And Raleigh Henry now is going to have free positioning over the middle. We know she loves to take her shots swinging around behind the goal, but over the middle. Amazing opportunity here. Raleigh Henry able to capitalize on it. Nice shot, nice make right there by number 20, Raleigh Henry. Make this a 10-3 lead now for Highland Park. What a dominant game thus far for Highland Park. You have 10 goals to your name and still some change left on the clock here in the second quarter of play. Very dominant. Very tough outing for them. And we saw Parish in their last outing. I can't name the opponent off the top of my head, but in their last outing they were trailing big. I believe it was 1-7 headed into the second half of play. And in the second half, they really marched back, had a good showing, but because they were behind by so much, by such a huge deficit, they weren't able to quite get back into it and give themselves the lead, and they walked out of there with the loss. We kind of see the same thing happening in this game so far, as Highland Park holds a 10-3 lead, and Parish would hate to play comeback again in the second half. You know they're going to do it regardless, got to keep their heads up, but you want to put yourself in a position where you're not down by a mile, and it starts right here as they do start off with possession here. Ball still dribbling around. Whistle blown again. They'll call that Parish ball still. Number 23, Natalie Gaunt, the assistant captain for Parish. Bit of a shove right there by Raleigh Henry. Clock will stop. 2 minutes and 28 seconds. Yeah, Raleigh Henry on a bit of a tough shove right there. She will get called for the yellow card. Obviously not intentional. She loves to play fast pace. But Raleigh Henry has been such a huge part of this offense so far. She has 4 goals to her name, so you hate to see her check out for a minute. It's number 23, Natalie Gaunt. Still has possession for Parish. Here we go, back underway. Passes that one over the center to number 2, Chloe Linderman, who already has a make to her name. We saw her have 2 makes in the third quarter alone in that near comeback win in our last game. Passes that one over the top to number 8. Laya Lively looking for the shot there, and it looks like she might have free positioning right near the middle. Love to get one more on here as we are under 2 minutes now. You talked about it. You want to get one more on the board, kind of chew at that deficit before half. Don't leave such a huge hole that you can't climb out of headed into the second half of this game. See if Lively can do it right here. Whistle's blown. She marches up the center. Going to take her shot. Oh, nice save right there by Highland Park's goalie. Parish still maintains possession, however. Number 15, Peyton Ronnie, still maintains possession for Parish. Whistle blown again. Looks like Peyton Ronnie is going to have free positioning. Bit of a slanted shot right there. She will still have an opportunity, however. Just chip into this deficit a little bit. The clock is still running. It's not going to be free positioning. She will just have the ball near that 20-yard line. She marches over the center, trying to take the shot herself. It rolls around outside. Parish will maintain possession still, however. 1 minute is left in your second quarter of play. Parish still has this in a favorable position here, as that one is jocked free. Your clock will stop with 51.7 seconds remaining, as it looks like Peyton still going to have possession here for Parish. As a captain of this team, you know she would love to get one more shot on the board here in the first half. Just gain a little bit of momentum here as she has free positioning now. Whistle's blown. Rodney decides to march her way back up the center. A little high on that pass. It will roll out of bounds. Parish will maintain possession still, but clock is now rolling. About 40 seconds left before we hit half. Parish has got to roll now. They've had a few misses on this opportunity alone, on this possession alone. They need to score right here. As Linderman gets double teamed, passes that one over the center, and that's nicely saved right there by the goalie for Highland Park. I believe she was looking for the captain, Peyton Ronnie, over the center to take that nice shot, but it's quickly intercepted by the goalie for Highland Park. As that one is passed deep downfield, we know how Highland Park likes to play here in the last few seconds. Passes that one over the middle. They're looking for the goal right here. As that one is passed over the center to Margot McKenney, who gets it low. It's going to roll out of bounds, so not able to capitalize on that one, and that is how our first half of play will end. We'll bring you back one more half of play here on Game On Sports after 8 minutes of half. Thank you for joining us. Be back in just a few short minutes. We are back on Game On Sports Network. Looks like they cut the last 2 minutes of the half here, but we are ready to roll here on Game On Sports. Once again, my name is Isaac Estrada. I have the opportunity for one more half to be your play-by-play and color man for tonight. Highland Park holds a very dominant 10-3 lead here headed into the second half of play. We've seen them be so offensively destructive, and on the defensive side, what they've done a very nice job at is when Parish has possession of that ball, you see at least two defenders at all times running up to whoever has the ball, guarding them tightly, not giving them any room to operate or work. Let's see if they're going to continue to do that in the second half. We know up until that whistle blows at the very end of the game, Highland Park plays at 100%, and that's why they have been so dominant this season thus far. But we look ready to roll here for one more half of play. Number 4, Kate Peters meeting in the center with captain for Parish, Peyton Ronnie. So we are underway here. Kate Peters starts off with possession for Highland Park, passes that one to Raleigh Henry, now to Anna Butler. Butler marching around over the center. Back now to number 59, Ellington Highs, over the middle. Ooh, that one dribbles around. Number 7, Hayden Gray was looking for the shot right there. Nice save it looked like by Parish's goalie. Number 38, Sarah Munier. Goalie is tightly defended by Raleigh Henry. She tosses that one out. It is quickly intercepted right there by Highs. Highs marching over the center. Ooh, she had a nice opportunity right there. Couldn't capitalize on it. Parish now will have possession back. See Raleigh Henry going to quickly march her back around the outside. And like we talked about, these Highland Park defenders always having 2 at a time on whoever has the ball. And we're seeing it right here as Anna Butler and Raleigh Henry quickly surrounding number 12, Megan Jackson. She will still have possession here for Parish, however. Raleigh Henry now motioning behind her. Passes that one over the middle now to the captain, Ronnie. Ronnie now marching the other way near the 30. Still got plenty of time in this one, but you're down big. You're down by 7. We saw them almost come back from a 6-point deficit in their last game. Couldn't quite do it. Now you have even a bigger task ahead of you, and you're playing against a star-studded team in Highland Park. That one is passed back over the middle now. Oh, and they lose control of that one. Let's see who scoops it up, and it will be Highland Park. Yes, it will be. Highland Park plays so physical, and once again, that is number 59, Ellington Highs. She has been so physical on defense thus far. She does it again as she passes that one deep downfield into the hands of number 7, Hayden Gray, excuse me. Passing it to Ellington, who puts it through. Who else? Ellington Highs on the nice shot right there. She's the one that got the steal for Highland Park and puts it through. So Ellington Highs now makes this an 11-3 game with 9 minutes 38 seconds remaining here in the third quarter of play. You always got to favor Highland Park on paper, but you never know what can happen. But Highland Park is proving right now why they're favored. So meeting back in the middle once again, number 4, Kate Peters. And meeting her there is number 15, Peyton Ronnie. Ball flies into the air, swatted around. Let's see who's going to get possession of it. Still moving. And nice job right there by Kate Peters, the facilitator of this offense, getting control of that one. Passes that one over the middle to number 20, Raleigh Henry. ooh, nice job right there by Parish, swatting that one away from them. And it's scooped up by number 12, Megan Jackson, now taken back away by Highland Park. Fast-paced offense right here on this possession. It's a big possession for both teams. If you're Highland Park, you want to put this one out of reach here in the third quarter. And it looks like Kate Peters wants to do that. A little bit high on the shot right there. It's going to roll out of bounds. As I was saying, if you're Highland Park, looks like maybe you already did that, but you would love to add on to this lead. Really put it out of reach for Parish. And if you're Parish, you just got to do anything to get on the board right now. You don't look at that scoreboard. You just play lacrosse. You just keep taking your shots, Not so much taking your time, but just trying to get back on the board. As they pass that one to Parish. So Parish now will have possession here. Clock is rolling. Now 9 minutes remaining here in the third quarter of play. Goalie gets that one out. Intended for number 18, Olivia Shapiro, but that one is going to roll out of bounds, and it looks like Highland Park now will have possession. Anna Butler to inbound this one now. Marching around the center, passes that one over the middle to Margot McKinney, who tries to slide that one in, can't do it. A little far to the left, but Highland Park will maintain possession here. Number 7, Hayden Gray, still has the ball in her hands. Passes that one behind the goal to Raleigh Henry. Let's see if Raleigh Henry's going to take that shot we know she loves. She says she decides to pass that one back over the middle to number 2, Harper Gray. Gray now coming the other way. Passes that one to Margot McKinney. McKinney scoops around. Passes that one behind the goal back to Harper Gray. Hayden Gray, excuse me. Playing keep away here, but they've just been kind of running in a circle behind that goal. And that one is back off to Anna Butler. They can play this at whatever kind of tempo they want here for Highland Park. You have a dominant lead, and now it looks like Parish is going to go on the double team. Passes that one over the middle to Anna Butler. Butler now behind the goal to Raleigh Henry. You see Parish playing a little more physical here as Raleigh Henry scoops around the side and puts it through on her favorite shot. Make it 5 on the game now for number 20, Raleigh Henry. Raleigh Henry with her 5th. Yes, 5th make of the game now. She's been so dominant thus far. She had 4 in the first quarter. Give her 1 to start off the second. About midway through the second, excuse me. She's a huge part of this offense here. We saw her get the yellow card, but I think that's just her playing physical, just wanting to win so badly. We see it again right there with the nice make. So number 15, Peyton Gray meeting in the center with, I believe that's number 59, Ellington Hayes. And this one will start off with Highland Park. So coming the other way very quickly, it's Margot McKinney. Spins around back over the center. McKinney, she going to take her shot. Instead, she decides to take a little bit of a swing around. Passes that one very shortly to number 7, Hayden Gray. Gray now back to Margot McKinney. McKinney passes that one over the center. Raleigh Henry, who was trying to make it 6 on the game, but that one is going to roll around. Quickly picked up, though, by Highland Park. You know they're so good at, even on these misses, still maintaining possession. Passes that one over the middle to Kate Peters, who puts it through for her 3rd make of the game. So Kate Peter and Raleigh Henry on a big hug right there, and they deserve it. Those two have been balling out in this game so far. We have about 6 minutes and 40 seconds remaining in the third quarter of play. Highland Park makes this a 10-point lead for themselves, 13-3. So here we go. Meeting back in the center. Whistle is blown. That one is up. Quickly scooped up right there by Kate Peters. Highland Park has been so good thus far in this game. You see they have a 10-point lead, and that is why. Starting off with possession in their hands, giving themselves the opportunity from the opening whistle. Pass over the middle to Margot McKinney, who passes it back to Ellington Hayes, who marches it through again. Ellington Hayes on her 2nd make of the game called this a 14-3 game. And now we are looking at blowout material. Highland Park has been so fast on their makes. And a timeout is taken by Parish, and we'll take it right with them. After a quick 1-minute timeout, we will be back here on Game On Sports. Thank you for joining us. And we are back here. Just a quick 1-minute break. We have about 30 seconds until we are back in this one. Highland Park holds a very commanding 14-3 lead over Parish. We talked about how Highland Park wanted to take this into their own hands and just take any hope of life away from Parish. Looks like they did that so far. They hold an 11-point lead now. Still about half a quarter remaining in the third. This couldn't be going much better for them as we are back under play now. So we break out of our huddles and we are back here. So here we go. Ellington High is marching onto the field, and she's going to meet number 15, Peyton Ronnie, in the center. Whistle's blown. This one flies into the air. Ooh, and a hard hit right there. Number 23, Natalie Gaunt, is going to take a bit of a fall right there. She seems to be okay, though. She's going to tough this one out and have possession now for Parish. So here we go. Parish coming the other way. Quickly, tightly guarded right there by Highland Park. They still have possession. So here we go. Gaunt trying to get right back in this one, possibly a make. She's going to pass that one behind the goal. A little high on that one. And now Highland Park going to capitalize. And just a few miscommunications, just a few off-key plays. And just add those up in total, and that is a big reason why Highland Park maintains a dominant lead here. As now they are coming the other way. Ball slips out of the hand of Bard. She does a good job of getting it back. Passes it over the center right there. Back to Kate Peters. Back over the center to Highs. Highs! Ooh, nearly put that one through again. Instead, Raleigh Henry's going to have possession. That one dribbles out of bounds. They will still call that Highland Park ball. Riley Henry now playing for behind her goal. Whistle is blown. We are back underway here. Henry marches over the middle, quickly guarded by a few defenders. Tries to pass that one back to number 7, Hayden Gray. Whistle is blown. Number 20, Riley Henry now. Going to have free positioning near our side. Have an opportunity to put this one through. She marches up the center, puts it around. Nice save right there by Parish's goalie. So Raleigh Henry not able to make her 6th make of the game. And Parish now comes the other way. Number 15, Ronnie. Coming the other way. She still has possession here. Marching around over the center. Tries to look over the center for number 2 right there. Linderman can't make it happen. That one still dribbles around. Parish now still will have possession here. Ooh, bump is taken right there. Chloe Linderman on a hard hit. Hopefully she's okay, but she's really slow to get up. And they're going to call for medical assistance here. Let's take a quick timeout. Give them time to regroup. Get this all sorted out. Give them the space they need. We'll be back in just a few short minutes here on Game On. And all we needed was a few short moments. Good news, though. Chloe Linderman going off field on her own 2 feet, so that's always a good sign. And now we will resume play here. 3 minutes remaining in the third quarter as Ronnie has possession for Parish. Marching over the center, trying to take her shot. Ooh, that one was so close to going in. Doesn't happen there. Nice job by Highland Park. That one was maybe a foot away from rolling in. Not able to make it happen right there. Now Raleigh Henry coming the other way now for Highland Park. Playing from behind the goal now. Henry passes that one back over the middle to Anna Butler. Butler gets quickly covered up and decides to pass that one back to number 53, Margaret Lee. Now over the center now is number 13. Taking her shot and puts it through. Nice job right there by number 13. Audrey Els make this a 15-3 lead now for Highland Park. Coming into this one, many people favored Highland Park, but man, they have just utterly dominated Parish thus far. And you see Parish regrouping near their goal. They got to at this point. Ellington Highs meeting in the center once again with Peyton Ronnie. Less than 1:30 remaining in this third quarter of play. Whistle's blown. That one flies into the air. Quickly scooped up right there by Highland Park. Nope. Yep. They do have possession now. Parish has possession. So Parish coming the other way now. Haven't scored in quite some time. And you can credit that one to Highland Park's defense. You can credit it to what they're doing at this very moment, and that's putting on the heavy double team as that one dribbles around. Parish still has possession here. Clock is still rolling. We have 45 seconds as the shot is taken. Dribbles around. Highland Park scoops it up. So here we go. Opportunity here now for Parish to get back on the board. That one's going to dribble away. Couldn't make it happen right there. Number 23, Natalie Gaunt on the miss. They still have possession though. Peyton Ronnie is tightly guarded. They pass that one back over the middle. Again, that one rolls out of bounds. The clock is still rolling, however. Under 15 seconds now. They just got to hopefully toss this one up and put it through. 10 seconds now. 8 seconds. They got to move. They're still rolling here. 5 seconds. And they realize it now. Passes it over the middle and puts it through. Nice job right there by number 12, Megan Jackson. And as the third quarter ends, that is how we will end this quarter. So, Parish gets on the board just for a little last-second shot right there. Now call it 15-14. We'll come back for one more quarter of play here in just a few short moments. Thank you for joining us. Game on Sports. We are back on Game On Sports, and we just have one more quarter to play here in what has been a dominant outing from Highland Park. Last few seconds of the third quarter, Parish did do a nice job right there of getting just a small moral victory in the form of a goal to make this 15-4 game. See what the fourth quarter has in store for us. Looks like Highland Park is marching their way to a very dominant win here near the end of the season. But never say never. Parish still looks like they're in good spirits. Still looks like they're going to come in here to fight for one more quarter of play. So both of these teams marching back onto the field now. So number 15, Ellington Highs, meeting in the center now with number 59, Ellington Highs, meeting in the center with number 15, Peyton Ronnie. So we are underway now for one more quarter of play here on Game On Sports. Marching the other way quickly is Parish. That one loses its grip. Still going to take the shot. Bounces around. Nice save right there by Highland Park. Now coming the other way. Ooh, bit of a low pass right there. Nice job right there by Anna Butler, though, of receiving that one. She passes that one to Raleigh Henry. Raleigh Henry really been the star of this game so far. She has 5 makes to her name in this 15-4 lead. She's quickly swarmed, passes that one over the center right there to Gray. Gray puts it through. Nice job right there by number 7. Hayden Gray called this a 16-4 lead. What a dominant outing from Highland Park. Our clock is still rolling. Highs meeting back in the center with number 15, Peyton Ronnie. Whistles blown, quickly taken away right there by Highland Park. About a minute and a half has scratched off of our last quarter of play here. Thank you so much for joining us here on Game On Sports. Once again, we had a few audio issues in the first quarter, but we're really glad over the fact that we were able to bring you some commentary here, some audio, for our last few quarters of play, as Anna Butler is a bit high on that shot. Highland Park will still have possession. Bit of a bump taken. Now this will be Parish ball. So nice job by Parish keeping possession. Kate Butler. Hot on the trail right there. She is still tightly guarded right there. Passes that one back to Peyton. Peyton marching around the center, bounces it around. Oh, nearly put that through. She has had so many near makes in this game. Couldn't do it again. And now Highland Park's goalie passes that one to Bard. Back to Kate Peters. Kate Peters coming the other way now. 3 minutes now has ran by in our fourth quarter of play as Anna Butler is marching over the center. Passes that one to Raleigh Henry. Henry back to Gray. Anna Butler marching through, tightly guarded by multiple Parish defenders, and has a little too much heat on that one, as that one is going to go rolling far away near the 40. That is scooped up by Parish. Nice job right there by Parish to take advantage. Nope, it looks like Highland Park is actually going to take advantage. And they are back coming the other way now. So playing from behind the goal now is Gray. Gray over the center. Looks like she might have wanted to take that shot, but instead she decides to pass that one back to number 13, Audrey Els. That one's going to bounce around. See who's got it. They will say it's Raleigh Henry now with possession for Highland Park. Raleigh Henry marching around. What a dominant outing she's had so far. Has 5 goals to her name in this contest. Been so key to their big lead here. And it looks like in just about 7 minutes they're going to be able to celebrate a dominant win here in Highland Park's favor. As Els tries to take a shot on that one, it's going to bounce around. This will be Parish ball now. Oh, and look at Raleigh Henry trying to scoop that one away. Couldn't make it happen though. That's what I'm talking about. Even whenever Highland Park is leading by such a huge lead like they are right now, they still play so fast-paced, still play like this is a tight contest. That's what you love to see, is that one is going to bounce around. Scooped back up by Highland Park. Highland Park coming the other way now, a bit high on that pass right there. That one is going to roll out of bounds. Margot Brown on a bit of a high pass right there. That one's still going to dribble around. Gray passes that one back to Raleigh Henry. Whistle is blown as we are about halfway through this last quarter of play here in what has been a dominant outing for Highland Park thus far. Pass intended for Ellington Highs right there. She still does scoop it up, however. She has 2 goals to her name and a nice few plays on defense as Kate Peters puts it through for her 4th make of the game. Nice job right there. So now we're looking at a 17-4 lead in Highland Park's favor. Reed Golden is now going to check into the game for Highland Park. And now number 36, Grace Crombie, going to check out for Parish. And in her place will be number 28. Nope, number 28 replacing the goalie for Parish. So number 38, Sarah Moonier, checking out, and in place is number 28, Addie Lindley, checking in for her. So here we go. Last 4 minutes of play here. Quickly scooped up again by Highland Park. And now they're coming the other way. Passes that one high over the middle. Whistle is blown. Your clock will still be running with 4 minutes left. Nope, they're going to take a stop and play real quick. And a timeout is taken. And we'll take it right with them. We'll be back for the last 4 minutes of play here on Game On Sports. Thank you for joining us. And after just a quick timeout, we are back here on Game On Sports. My name is Isaac Estrada. I have the opportunity to be your play-by-play and colorman for tonight's game. It's Highland Park. Very dominant 17-4 lead here in the fourth quarter of play. They've been dominant. They've been very physical defensively. They have been honestly almost perfect defensively, as they have quickly met whoever has the ball. So here we go. 4 minutes and 1 second of play here in the fourth quarter. So Kate Peters going to have possession now here for Highland Park. Whistle is blown and we are back underway here. Under 4 minutes remaining before we call an end to this contest. So they try to look for another make. Can't make it happen on that one. But they will still have possession. It was number 53, Margaret Lee, looking for a shot right there. And now you see Highland Park just kind of playing keep away. Just trying to maintain possession of this one. Hang on to that ball. What a dominant game from Highland Park, from start to finish, really. Or maybe not. Highland Park puts it through once again. Number 53, Margaret Lee, on a nice make right there for Highland Park. Why did I even have to say anything? We know very good and well that Highland Park, no matter how much they're up by, still likes to take their shots, still likes to add on to that lead, and they do it again there. Now 3 minutes remain in this fourth quarter of play. As number 15, Peyton Ronnie, checks out of the game. So here we go. Last 2.5 minutes of this contest. Highland Park looks like they're going to get out of here with a very nice win. And for the first time in quite a few possessions, Parish is actually going to start off with possession here. And that's number 2, Chloe Linderman. She already has one make to her name in this contest. Linderman passes that one over the center. Looks like they weren't ready for it. Intended for number 8, Lively, but she was not ready for that one, and now Highland Park quickly comes the other way. Number 19, Anna Louise Peters, passes that one over the center. Raleigh Henry again. Call it a 19-4 lead now. Raleigh Henry, give her 6 on the game. She has really been the MVP of this game so far. Everyone on this team you can really call the MVP, as they have had a very dominant outing thus far. And they have a 19-4 lead to show for it. So here we go. Your clock is still running now. Just a little over a minute remaining in this game. And you see number 7, Hayden Gray, and number 20, Raleigh Henry, checking out of this game, and they deserve it. Those two have had a great game thus far, especially Raleigh Henry. As we are just about a minute away from putting a cap on this game, the whistle is blown. Scooped up right there, passed to number 32, Reagan Motley. Now playing from behind the goal now. Puts it through again. Highland Park call it 20-4. in this contest. And with under 30 seconds remaining in this game, looks like that is how this one will end. Dominant outing by Highland Park. They're going to take a 20-4 lead in this contest. From start to finish, they really had their handprints all over this one. Did a great job defensively as well as offensively, but it feels like a lot of those offensive goals were just stepping on the gas in the middle of squeezing the life out of Parish, and that is how this one will end. So thank you so much for joining us here on Game On Sports Network as Highland Park takes a very commanding 20-4 win over Parish Panthers. My name was Isaac Estrada. I had the opportunity to be your play-by-play and color commentator for tonight's game. Till next time, thank you for joining us here at Game On Sports. Good night, and God bless.